All right, fellas. Well, apparently EA deemed Team of the Season to only mean 75% of the season. So it is the most EA Sports thing in my time as a content creator to decide to take my only vacation in the last 3 years and then release the biggest time and content for NHL content creators. But here we are. We're going to do some predictions for the Young Guns Team of the Season. Now I have an amazing editor, Tyler, and he has decided to work overtime so that I can get a video out. And I hope you guys are doing great. So the predictions video for the Young Guns, we did get announced yesterday that Young Guns will be released today. And obviously, I don't think that means just rookies. Obviously, I think it means younger players. So think a lot of like what the under-22 event worked. For example, like Jack Hughes, I think is going to get one for sure. But for this video, for my prediction video, I just want to give some light to the rookies. All right, even Bunting, even though Leafs fans, I apologize, but I don't know how he's considered a rookie. He's 26 years old, but nonetheless, we'll include him in here. All right. So I'm going to give some light to all the rookies and pretend that they're not going to throw just younger players in as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section, who your predictions are. We're going to find out today. I'll have a video out later today as well, going over all of the selections. But I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you guys shortly. And give the video a like. Show Tyler some love. All right, guys. All right, so the post said young guns and not rookies. So that leads me to believe that it worked kind of like, the under-22 event. That would be my guess, or rookies in general. The one I don't really know about that's going to be interesting would be Michael Bunting. So we'll start there. I don't know if he's going to be included because he is obviously a little bit older, a lot like Kaprizov was, but Bunting's a very different case. It depends on what EA decides they want to clarify as a young gun, or if it's just the rookie status. So we'll start there. So Michael Bunting, obviously with the Toronto Maple Leafs, is leading the league as of this recording in points for rookies. He's got 20 goals, 29 assists, 49 points, is a plus 22 on the wing for Toronto. He would be a lock if he is included. Again, I don't know if they're going to. I think they would, and they should, as he is still eligible for the Calder. So he would be the selection, one of the easiest ones. After that, there's about 5 to 10 that is very, very easy to predict, I think. We'll start in Detroit with Lucas Raymond, 63 games played on the wing, 20 goals, 28 assists, is 48 points, one back of Michael Bunting. Obviously an actual young player and a Calder, not favorite, but actually has the potential to win it. Is a minus 13, though. Has had a phenomenal season for Detroit, and a real reason why Detroit looks to be a little bit ahead of their rebuild schedule. Just a phenomenal year for him, and he should be a really fun card. His Evo card was really was one of the cooler ones as well, so excited to see him get a Team of the Season card. Next at center would be TREVOR ZEGRAS. He's been one of the most exciting players for Anaheim, and not just for Anaheim, but in general, as he's had just an incredible season for them, and really one of, if not their only bright spots. ZEGRAS is a lock for this event. He's going to, he definitely is going to be included, especially with what happened at the All-Star game and all of his amazing goals that he scored. So far in 59 games this year, he's got 16 goals, 31 assists, and has 47 points. So he's 2 points back of Michael Bunting, one of Lucas Raymond. But this one's a pretty easy lock. ZEGRAS is going to get a Young Guns card. Next, we've got our first defenseman, Moritz Seider. So Lucas Raymond has had an incredible year for Detroit, no doubt, but honestly, I think that if you're voting for the Calder today, I don't know how it's not given to Seider, just given the fact that he's a defenseman. It's much harder for them to obviously win that trophy just at that age and in general, and he's had an incredible rookie season here. So 63 games, 5 goals, 37 assists, is 42 points, and is only a -2 on a pretty bad Detroit team in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, like I said, I think they're ahead of schedule, but obviously they're not world beaters and like that. And he's just been a force on the back end, just playing incredible defense, and then you throw in his offensive ability. In all honesty, if it ends right now, I think he would be the Calder Trophy winner, but he is 7 points back of Bunting. So I'll have to wait and see on that, but he is definitely going to get a Young Guns card. And I will say this, he's probably going to be one of the best cards in this release, just specifically for Hut, because he is so big. His Evo card has been great. Obviously, with only 5 goals, you want to see that a little bit higher, but nonetheless, he's huge, and he's going to be really fast. This is going to be an exciting card for our Hockey Ultimate team. Then from Florida, we've got Anton Lundell, a center, 52 games played. He's got 14 goals, 24 assists for 38 points, but is a plus 30 on Florida. That team is just an absolute wagon, and Anton Lundell is just a phenomenal piece to go with all of the other horses that they have top end of their lineup. I would guess that he's definitely going to get a Young Guns card. He's had a great season, probably not going to win the Calder, but definitely going to get one here in this event. Moving on to the Nashville Predators, Tanner Jeannot, left winger, 64 games played, 21 goals, 15 assists, 36 points, and is a plus 7 for Nashville. I think he was a pleasant surprise just in terms of the rookie race. I don't know many people early on in the year had him have this kind of impact offensively, but definitely a great player for Nashville and should be a easy lock, I think, in this event. The one thing I do need to say, though, is I don't know if the format is going to be how many North American players, because they do like to highlight in Team of the Season Europeans as well, and because it's Young Guns, it doesn't really say if it's North American and European, so I'm going to go into the impression here that it's going to be the North American NHL players. I think that they're probably going to do a European one, but right now I'm going to say Tanner Jeannot definitely going to get a Team of the Season for the Young Guns cards. Then we've got Dawson Mercer from the New Jersey Devils. He's a center, 64 games played. He's got 16 goals, 20 assists, and 36 points. Only a -4 on a really bad New Jersey team this year. And I've made this joke many times on stream that New Jersey is one lottery pick away from being like the 2010 to 2013 Oilers, because they just can't seem to get it going even though they keep getting these top-end picks. He looks incredible, though, and Dawson Mercer definitely looks to be a really good piece for them. So I could see him definitely getting a Young Guns card. Next up, we've got Cole Caulfield, who really saved his season when Martin St. Louis took over behind the bench, because he was just having an absolutely abysmal year prior to that. After looking like one of the best young players in the league in the playoffs last year, he was just absolutely brutal to start the season. But 48 games played, he's got 13 goals, 17 assists, 30 points, a -13, but the majority of all of that happened over the last month and a half when St. Louis took over. I could see this one again. I don't know if they are going to go with this many North Americans, but I don't see how they leave him off because he's had such a good second part of the season, which is another reason why this early Team of the Season being released is very odd. It's the earliest they've ever done it. And it just, I don't know if it's because they're worried about the player base still playing at this stage in the game if they go until the end of the year, which they normally do because the season is extended. I don't know if that's really the case, but Cole Caulfield would be another, I would say, lock if they do full North American Young Gun cards. All right, so this is where again, it's very vague in what it could be, because Young Guns, obviously, that could be just younger players like the under-22 event. I don't know if it's going to include just rookies. And that being said, there's still a lot of defensemen that are, obviously Moritz Seider's one of the only point leaders among defensemen this year in the draft class. I would think that Jamie Drysdale would be the next one. 65 points, 3 goals, 23 assists, 26 points, -19 for Anaheim. I could see him definitely getting one of those spots. Is a right-handed defenseman as well. Obviously, in terms of Hutt, not going to be a great card because he's a little bit smaller, and obviously Moritz Seider is going to be the card to get, but Drysdale is a really exciting player to watch. I got to see him a ton in junior play against the Ice Dogs, and he's going to be a really good defenseman for a long time, but he would be, I think, a lock for Team of the Year for Young Guns. All right, so the last defensive spot among right-handed shooting defensemen is a lot more difficult to predict, just because there's a lot of defensemen around the same point totals that have had roughly the same seasons, but I'm going to guess it's Alexandre Carrier for Nashville. Man, Nashville's just had a really good year with a lot of their prospects just hitting, which I don't know if a lot of people thought was going to happen, especially how they sold off a lot of their players in the prior years. So that being said, Alexandre Carrier's got 2 goals, 21 assists, 23 points. It is a +20 on Nashville. Does shoot right, so that would be my third spot. There's a lot of other options here, though, that you could go with for right-handed defensemen. You've got Sean Durzi from the LA Kings, who's got 19 points in 47 games. You've also got Timothy Liljegren with 17 points in 45 and is a +10, but I would guess that Carrier is just a little bit above them, but again, it all depends on how they go about that. For left defense, it's going to be much more difficult to figure out. In all honesty, I could see them giving a lot more right-handed defensemen and not just give you a 3-3 split, or they're going to get creative with players that aren't just rookies, that maybe are younger players as well. But I'm going to cover rookies in this video because I think that's the best way to try and guess who is going to be available. And honestly, if you look at like what young guns are in terms of upper deck, that's what the rookie cards are called in upper deck, and they're really just rookies, but it could be like American players that have just gotten into the game or they've just gotten the rights to. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But again, I'm just going to go over my predictions here in terms of left-handed defensemen among rookies. And the leading scorer is J.J. Moser for the Arizona Coyotes. 33 games played. He's got 12 points as a -1. That's really the highest scoring defenseman by quite a bit, because the second one is Martin Fehervary for the Washington Capitals. 62 games played, so literally almost double the amount of games played and the same amount of points at 12. So obviously just not nearly the same skill level on the left-hand side on the back end this year for young guns in terms of rookies as there is to righties. There's a lot of good righties, like I mentioned, that we went over. And then, again, this is all like a crapshoot. It could be Bowen BYRAM had 11 points in 18 games, but only played 18 games. So I doubt they give him one because he just, he's been out for so long. I don't know what they're going to do for that. And then you've got just a list of guys that I doubt they do. So you've got Sebastian Aho from the New York Islanders. You've got Jake Middleton from the Sharks, who's now in Minnesota. And then you've got like Cale Clegg from the Kings in Montreal this season, all with like 9 and 7 points. So my guess is that they go with another right-handed defenseman like Liljegren, something like that, but we'll have to wait and see. This one's really hard to figure out. In terms of the bottom lines for forwards among young gun players, you've got Rem Pitlick, 47 games played. He's got 29 points as a -2. Definitely an option there. Basically the same stat line as Cole Caulfield. You also have Phil Tomasino, the ex-Niagara Ice Dog, who's again having another decent season for young players from Nashville. 58 games played, 10 goals, 15 assists, 25 points, a +5. He was a really, really fun player to watch in Niagara, and I think he's going to be a really good NHLer. I don't know if he's going to make the cut this year in terms of points. The other one I think that doesn't have high point totals yet, that's definitely going to or should be eligible, would be Matt Boldy, as he's got 30 games played for Minnesota this year, but he's got 24 points in those 30 games. So he's almost a point per game player. If they do recency bias as well, because obviously he came on late, I definitely see them giving him a Young Guns card for his performance later in the year, which again is just another issue of them having this Young Guns come out earlier before, the team of the season, before it's done, because we still have like 20 games left to go. And then after that, there's a couple of different options here. You've got Seth Jarvis for the Carolina Hurricanes, 49 games played. He's got 10 goals and 14 assists for 24 points, is a +10. And then you've got a couple, again, as other ones. Alex Newhook, who's got 23 points in 54 games. You also have Jonathan Dahlin, who has 22 points in 52 games for the Sharks, but he has been absolutely awful. He had a really good start to the season. I doubt they give him one. The other one that might get some pull because he's so young would be Cole Sillinger from the Columbus Blue Jackets. 21 points in 61 games, and he's got to be one of the youngest players in the real NHL. All right, on to goaltenders, and again, it all is going to depend if they consider young guns to be just younger players like under 22, or if they're just straight up rookies into the game. So I think an easy one that is going to be either the backup or the starter would be Jeremy Swayman from the Boston Bruins. He's played 30 games. He's started 29 of them. He's 18-8 with a .925 save percentage. So I don't see how he doesn't get at least the backup spot. And then you've got a couple of other ones, like NEDELJKOVIC for Detroit is technically still a rookie, as is Capo Kakinen and Spencer Knight, but Alex Nedeljkovic has started 41 games. He's played in 46 total, and he's got a .904 save percentage. So he has definitely played in the most out of these guys. The other one that would be kind of surprising would be VEJMELKA from Arizona, because he's getting absolutely shelled every night. 37 games played, and he's faced 1,208 shots. He's got a .905 save percentage on just an awful Arizona
Arizona team. There's some stat lines I tweeted out or last week where they were winning games with 46 shots against and they had 24. So just absolutely wild. The goaltender one is going to be very interesting. So I think Swayman is a lock, and then that second spot would either be, in my opinion, NEDELJKOVIC or VEJMELKA. But again, let me know in the comments section what you guys think. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for my Team of the Year predictions. Shout out to my editor, Tyler, once again for throwing this video together while I'm in the Dominican, as they decided to release the Team of the Season the earliest they've ever done it, and nothing we can really do about that. But let me know, guys, in the comments section if you agree with my predictions or if you think they're going to go a different way. I'm excited to see who gets released today, and you guys stay sweet. Peace out.